welcome back. You know how much we love to explore different cultures and perspectives on this show, right?
Absolutely. And today, we're diving deep into a YouTube channel that does just that, in a way that's both captivating and thought-provoking.
You ready to get started?
Definitely, bring it on.
All right. So we're taking a journey to Africa today, but not the kind you'd find in your typical travel brochure.
Oh, most definitely not.
Okay, so today we're going to take a deep dive into something a little different. We're going to be looking at a YouTube channel today.
Interesting.
Called Deca Channel.
Okay.
And as you might have guessed, it's focused on Africa.
Yeah.
And it looks really fascinating from what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
They have some really amazing footage of
different
parts of the continent, and this just looks really exciting.
I think that's one of the things that drew me to this channel, too, is like just how visually appealing it is.
Yeah, and it's not just travel stuff. Like, it's not just, going on safaris or anything like that, but they also explore the culture.
Yeah, the museum.
Music.
Yeah, they have a really interesting focus on music.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because one of the things that really caught my eye was that they seem to have these three pillars that they kind of structure their content around.
Right.
Somewhere in Africa, Data Karumba, and Prologues of Life.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart way to organize their content. Yeah. I mean, it gives you a sense of the breadth of what they cover.
So what do you think, like, when you see somewhere in Africa?
Well, it sounds pretty broad, right?
Yeah, it does. It sounds really broad.
Yeah.
So what do you think they're trying to get at with that theme?
So I think it's kind of their catch-all for anything related to travel or exploring different cultures within Africa.
Okay.
So, for example, they have this one video that's like exploring the Masai Mara.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's incredible, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah, just stunning footage of the wildlife and the landscape.
You only got one mama. You only got one pa. You only got one life to live, no matter who you are. You can go the whole world over. Every city has its dawn, but everybody living has one place where he was born. And mine is Kenya, so warm and wild and free. You'll always stay with me here in my heart. My land is Kenya, right from your highlands to the sea. You'll always stay with me here in my heart, here in my heart.
Yeah, and then they have another one where they go to like a bustling marketplace.
Yeah.
In Morocco.
In America, yes.
Yeah, and it's just like a total different vibe.
Totally. Yeah, and that's what I think is so cool about this theme, is that it really does take you to all these different corners of the continent.
Yeah, it's like having a virtual passport.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to experience all these different places.
Right, and I think what they're trying to do is capture the essence of each place. Not just the sights, but the sounds, the smells, like the daily rhythms of life.
Yeah, that's what I was getting from it too.
Yeah.
Now the next theme, Dada Karumba.
Yeah.
This one, like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I gotta hear this.
Right.
I love rumba music.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so infectious.
Yeah.
And it has such a rich history.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you to talk a little bit about that.
Yes.
Because I think some people might not be as familiar with rumba.
Right. So rumba actually originated in the Congo Basin.
Okay.
And it's known for these really like intricate guitar rhythms.
Yeah.
And these polyrhythms that are just so...
Yeah, it's very rhythmic.
Yeah, it makes you want to move.
It's very danceable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a really beautiful genre of music.
Yeah. I'm curious though, because like we were talking about how visually stunning this channel is.
Yeah.
How do they incorporate the rumba into that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is it just like background music, or do they have like
I think it's a mix.
Okay.
They definitely use it as background music in some of their videos.
Right.
But they also have dedicated videos that are specifically about rumba music.
Okay.
So they'll have like live performances or they'll interview rumba musicians.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they really highlight it as like a key part of their channel.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's like a way for them to differentiate themselves from other travel channels.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of travel channels, they'll just use like generic background music.
Yeah, stock music or whatever.
Yeah, but this channel is really like
Right.
choosing to focus on this specific genre of music.
And it's a genre that's very specific to Africa.
Right, exactly.
So it's like they're really leaning into that.
Yeah, and I think it's really smart.
Yeah.
Because it gives them a unique identity.
Yeah, and it's not just traditional rumba either.
Yeah.
They're doing some really interesting fusions.
Yeah.
They're mixing it with reggae, old school soul and R&B.
It's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's like taking this classic genre and giving it a modern twist.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's something that could appeal to a really wide audience.
Definitely.
Like people who might not traditionally listen to rumba
Right.
might be drawn in by those other elements.
Yeah, and I think it reflects the evolving soundscape of contemporary Africa. Like, it's not just about preserving the past,
Yeah.
but also about innovating and creating something new.
And it's bringing different cultures together.
Or, yeah.
Music.
Exactly.
So I love that. I think that's really cool.
It's very cool.
Now the last theme, Prologues of Life.
This one's a little more mysterious.
It is a little more mysterious.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think they're getting at with this one?
I think it's about showcasing personal stories.
It's about the
Okay.
human
From
experience in
everyday
Africa.
Like I noticed they have this one video called Tales from a Dakar Taxi Driver.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one too.
And it just sounds so fascinating, right?
Yeah.
Like getting a glimpse into the life of someone
Right.
who lives and works in Dakar.
Yeah, like a local's perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's often missing
Yeah.
from travel content.
It's often very surface level.
Right. It's all about the tourist attractions
Yeah.
and the beautiful scenery.
Right, like where to go, what to eat.
Right. But this channel is really trying to go deeper
Yeah,
and connect with the people.
tell their stories.
Yeah, and I think that's so important.
Yeah, I think it adds like a really human touch.
Yes, definitely.
Hey.
It makes it more relatable.
It makes it more relatable and it makes you care more about the places that you're seeing.
Yeah, because you're not just seeing them as like
Right.
destinations,
Right.
but as places where people live and work and have families.
And have dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's what's so special about this theme.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
So overall, what do you think?
I think it's a great channel.
Yeah.
I think it's really unique. And I think it offers a really fresh perspective on Africa.
Would you recommend it to our listeners?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something that goes beyond
Yeah.
the typical travel content
Right.
and really dives deep into the culture and the people,
Yeah.
then this is definitely a channel to check out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So to kind of recap,
Yeah.
Dr. Q channel, they have these 3 pillars somewhere in Africa.
Yes.
Dada Kurumba and Prologues of Life.
Yeah.
And they're using this really interesting mix of travel,
Yeah.
music, and personal stories to create this really multifaceted picture of Africa.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's definitely worth checking out.
Definitely.
But here's a question for you and for our listeners to think about.
Yeah.
Do you think with this unique approach, Thematic channel might actually be pioneering
Interesting.
like a new genre of travel and culture experience?
Yeah. That's a good question.
What do you think?
I think they might be.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely doing something different. And I think it's something that other creators could learn from.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a real hunger for this kind of content that goes beyond the superficial.
Right.
And really connects with people on a deeper level.
Yeah, so if you're interested in learning more about Africa,
Yeah.
check out Thematic channel and let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
It's like a portal into the heart and soul of Africa.
Exactly. It's a much more personal and nuanced look at the continent. And I think it really challenges a lot of stereotypes that people might have.
I totally agree. I'm really excited to check it out, and I think our listeners will be too.
I have a feeling it'll spark some really interesting conversations and maybe even inspire some folks to learn more about Africa and its diverse cultures. I know it is for me.
Me too. So go check it out, everyone, and let us know what you think.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.